Time now 9:47 on this Saturday morning. It is time for Imagine It. Carl Nelson is here, and we're going to do a little bit of acid and base testing today, right?
Exactly. It's the holiday time. People are going to parties. They're overeating. Somebody at some point is going to reach for an antacid.
Yes.
So I thought we'd talk about that sort of acid-base chemistry, like you said.
So what's happening then in your digestion as it's happening?
Exactly.
Okay.
Now your stomach needs to sort of maintain a certain acidity level for digestion to happen.
Okay.
Now if you eat too much, you might get a little excess acid in your stomach, and then chemists will talk about that as a pH level.
Right.
pH 0 being acid, 14 being base,
Right.
7 being neutral. We're going to do something way simpler. We're going to use color.
Okay,
to
I
look
like
at.
that.
So this liquid, go ahead and start dripping that into our little vortex of water here. This is an acid-base indicator, and you're going to need to keep squirting quite a few. It only drips out. This will change color based on the acidity or alkalinity of the liquid.
All right,
That's
is that
pretty good. That's pretty
All
good.
right.
Now from that color, I can tell that this water is kind of alkaline.
Okay.
It's got a purplish color.
Sure.
Now this is a little hydrochloric acid. If we were to drip a little bit of this into our water,
Oh, it's going to get lighter, right?
we'll start to see it turn
Oh, yeah.
yellowish, greenish, and then eventually it's going to turn red. Okay?
Wow, so all the way down the scale. Okay.
Exactly. So that's going to be our sort of our baseline. The purple is going to be alkaline or base,
Okay.
and the red or yellow is going to be acid.
Right.
Now, we've got a stomach that's acidic.
Right.
So
I
we're
need
going
to soothe it.
We're going to soothe it. We're going to try to bring down that excess acidity. Here's a little milk of magnesia.
Okay, which you can find in the grocery store if you have the upset stomach, right?
Correct.
Okay.
It's an antacid. Now, dump the whole thing in. That's a
Okay.
full dose. And two things are happening here. One, the color is switching to that greenish color.
Right.
It's moved away from the acidity.
Back to the
more
neutral, okay.
And also it's cloudy. So the cool thing about milk of magnesia is it doesn't all dissolve in the water right away. It makes a
Okay.
suspension. So there's a little bit of milk of magnesia that dissolved, that neutralized the acid. Now
Gotcha.
here is where you're going to start squirting in some more acid.
Okay.
So give a good squirt there. And you can
Oh,
see it'll start to
wow.
turn a little bit pink at the
Yeah,
bottom.
absolutely.
Keep doing that. And what you're doing is every time you squirt some acid in, and let it go back, let it
Ooh, that
changing. Every time you squirt some acid in, the magnesium hydroxide in the milk of magnesia will come out of solution and neutralize the acid.
okay.
So a little bit each time starts to dissolve. In fact, the solubility of it depends upon the acidity.
Sure.
Now, this is good because what this does, it sort of buffers the acidity in your stomach.
Sure.
You keep pumping in acid, it keeps turning red, but then it keeps going back to be more neutral.
Right.
Now, eventually, you're going to run out of milk of magnesia.
That dose is going to run out,
The dose
right?
is going to run out, and then it's going to overshoot into the red. In
Okay.
fact, if you want, you could get rid of the pipette, and you could just dump a little bit of acid right in there. Dump the whole thing in. Let's see what happens. Okay. Now, you put so much acid in that it has actually caused all the milk of magnesia to dissolve into the water. And
Oh, wow, yeah.
it's
Completely
turning
clear.
completely clear. So at this point, you've used up your dose of antacid, and it's time to slow down whatever
Yeah.
you're doing.
At that point, you have a stomach that is just in knots, right?
Correct, correct. You've upset that delicate balance because you need the pH to be around 2 to 4 in your stomach during digestion so the enzymes can break the food down.
Okay, nice.
So-
Hey, good to know. Well, I mean, something as simple as milk of magnesia then is going to at least help you for that short term, and then if it continues to be upset, you're going to have to give it those additional doses.
Correct.
So,
And it's a short-term solution. It's not, doctors say you're not going to use this all
Well,
the time.
sure, right.
But for those in there, every so
for the
often.
holiday parties,
There
right,
you go.
Carl?
Exactly,
All right.
exactly.
Sounds good. Well, if you would like to check out any of the experiments, a lot of times, Carl and the team, you guys are down there doing live experiments throughout the day, right?
Absolutely. And today is Saturday, so Lucas County residents 12 and under get in free.
All right.
We have Sesame Street, Elmo's around.
Oh,
Come down, check it out.
Elmo's around, Tony. All right, that's going to do it for this week's Imagine It. If you would like to go down to the Imagination Station, once again, they are open today and tomorrow, so you can go down there and check out all the fun things that they have.
Yeah.
And that's going to do it for this week's Imagine It. Carl, thanks so much for coming in. One last look at those hours there for you. And from there, we're going to toss it over to Joe. He's got to check sports.